Imagine sitting in a class with stomach growling, unable to concentrate because you didn't have breakfast today and couldn't afford lunch. This is the reality for a million students every day, which does affect their well being and their education. So, the problem is the current school's lunch policy is unequal to students. So, first thing I want to discuss is that many low-income students still struggle to afford meals, especially if their families miss the eligibility cutoff. That was a quote that was written in an article in 2018, and it's by Gordon and Zelick. Second, think about how different financial classes can cause embarrassment to students with their friends, and how that can create attention and can create that a student cannot afford having a meal, but they're very shy to show that to their friend who can afford obviously getting the meal, and their parents are not struggling in that case. It can be a very embarrassment moment. So, as a matter of fact, there was another quote that was written: Stigma and embarrassment prevent some students from accessing the free lunch programs, leading them to escape meals. That's by Bob Deck, and it was written in an article in 2010. And I know that unpaid lunch debate has been going on for a while, and it makes people like don't really, like some people agree, some people disagree, and the people who agree but it does not never get applied does prevent students from having the lunch and prevent them from getting their meals, which is very sad. So unpaid lunch debates have led to lunch shaming, where students are denied meals or given inferior food option. That was an article written in 2012 and by Waver Height Where. So again, as we discussed, that definitely can lead student, because of that debate has been going on, it can lead student to skip the meals and deny that they want lunch, which is very sad and definitely has a negative impact on their well-being and their education, because they cannot concentrate without eating, obviously. So hunger negatively affects academic performance, concentrations, and overall health, putting students in disadvantage. That's by an article by Frenagolo, Gieto, and Jones that was written in 2006. And still happens today. That obviously, yes, it does have a very negative impact on students' well-being and education, and just their academic performance as a whole, concentration, which does obviously to the disadvantage for them. Now that I have discussed the problem with the current policy, next I would like to talk about how to solve these issues. Before talking about the solutions, I would like to show you guys this diagram, which does just have a little bit of the insights of what would happen if we applied the policy of free lunch to all the students, regardless. So a better focus, higher grades, um, higher self-esteem, reduce stress, because honestly, like sometimes when it gets very bad, you're hungry, so you're stressed. Healthier health, obviously, and health diet, academic performance, and higher grades as well. And just not just for grades or academic thing, but just for the general well-being of the body. So, implementing a universal free school lunch program, I think that that thing or that debate was discussed in an article that was written in 2017 by Bergen, and it says that the government should fund free lunches for all students, ensuring that no child goes hungry. That's definitely because, again, it might be the only meal that they're eating. You never really know what's going on at their houses, what their financial hardship that they're going through. So at least provide that for a kid at school, because like you never really know what people are going through. That's a thing. Justifying this policy and why I think that it should be definitely adapted, that lunch should be free to all students. Studies show that students who receive proper nutrition perform better academically and have improved focus. That quote from an article written in 2010 by Henschers. So we need this. We need students to be able to make sure that they focus, make sure that they have whatever can help them to for a high academic performance. Also, universal free meals remove stigma, remove embarrassment from promoting inclusivity and equality. That was an article that was written by Popperdek. An article, a quote that was written by Popperdek in 2010. Well, lastly, when it comes to that is schools have adapted this policy, reported fewer behavior issues and high attendance rates. So if they see that the school is also trying to help them, there will be increase of behavior issues and there will be high attendance rate, which has been becoming a huge problem in all schools, that students are absent all the time. Schools can do that by applying this policy, can increase their attendance rate. And that was an article that and again that was by the same article that was written by Flogo, Jotes and Jones in 2006. So what are the potential objectives that we want to do? So the policy, people can say that the policy might be too expensive, well, but people are getting sick because they're not getting food, their well-being are not that strong, so the expense outweighs the medical health care that is very expensive, as we all know, especially in the US. And that was done that research was done also in another article by Gertson and Zelig in 2018. So another objective people might ask, or people might say, that parents should be who's the one who's responsible for their kids feeding, not the school, not the government. However, many families do struggle financially, and ensuring proper nutrition at school supports the overall public health and economic stability for the family. Because again, as we mentioned, that you never know what someone is going through. So that's something. And that research was done and was said in an article by Wang Di. Well, so universal free lunch policy promotes social justice, equal opportunities, and healthier future for children, aligning with ethical responsibilities. That was Wafer Heiter. So I do absolutely, I'm absolutely agreeing with that, and I see that obviously students should definitely have this, because that way they can have the opportunity to success regardless of what's going on in their life, especially especially and particularly in the academic side of things. So a conclusion summary that I want to really leave you guys here with it is that the current school lunch policy fails to serve all students equity, leading to food insecurity and academic disadvantage. A universal free lunch program would eliminate stigma, improve education, and support students' well-being. Also, no child have to choose between hunger and learning. Providing free school lunch for all students is not just a policy change, it's an investment in a bright, healthier future for the society.